When you think of chess, what comes to mind? Probably a pure battle of intellect, right? Just two brilliant minds, 64 squares, and a whole lot of brain power. Well, what if I told you that's just scratching the surface? The real story of chess? It's so much richer, darker, and way more dramatic than you can probably imagine. We're talking about a secret world filled with unbelievable luck, devious deception, and even literal life or death situations. Take the number 10. That's the age of Faustino Oro. He's this young prodigy from Argentina who people are already calling the Messi of chess. He's the perfect example of what we think chess is all about, a game for these incredibly gifted geniuses. And just this year, in 2024, he did something that seems almost impossible. He beat the world champion, Magnus Carlsen. In a feat like that, well, it just reinforces that classic image we all have of chess, a game where the smartest mind always wins. But is it really always that simple? Okay, let's get into it. So, is getting to the very top always a straight line of pure genius? Not really. Let me tell you about Dingley Ren. His journey to becoming world champion wasn't some perfectly planned attack. It was more like a chaotic storm of pure luck and weird global events. I mean, his path to the title reads more like a winning lottery ticket than a grand strategy. First, he gets trapped in China because of the pandemic. Then a rival gets a political ban, which, what do you know, miraculously opens up a spot for him. But to even qualify for that spot, he has to play this insane number of games in a super short time. And then the cherry on top, the reigning champ just decides he's not going to play. It's an amazing story that shows you that sometimes plain old fate can be more powerful than any strategy. That crazy intensity of chess doesn't just create these wild stories of luck. It can also push the human mind to its absolute breaking point. And that's where you see both incredible, cunning deception and a desperate fight just to survive. You get these two total extremes. On one hand, you've got a player who twisted the game into a tool for a really elaborate fraud. But on the other, you have a man who clung to it like a life raft, using it as a shield to survive something truly awful. And that dark side can get really, really sophisticated. So at the 2010 Chess Olympiad, a French grandmaster named Sébastien Feller was part of this crazy high-tech scheme. You had an accomplice miles away using a computer to find the perfect move. That move got turned into a code sent by text to a coach inside the tournament hall, and then the coach would signal the move to Feller just by standing near certain chessboards. It wasn't just cheating, it was this whole performance designed to fool everyone. Now let's flip that completely. Compare that to the main character in Stefan Zweig's famous book, Chess Story. This guy is a prisoner of the Gestapo, and they're holding him in total isolation to try and break him. But he manages to steal a book of chess games, and it becomes his lifeline. He memorizes all the games, and when he's done with that, he starts playing against himself, entirely in his head. Chess saves him from going mad, but at the same time, it pushes him right to the edge of a different kind of insanity, what the book calls a chess poisoning. So the stakes of the game can be intensely personal, but they've also gotten way, way bigger than that. For centuries, that simple chessboard has been used as a proxy battlefield for real wars, for political ideologies, and for huge societal fights. And these aren't just, interesting little stories. They show how chess got tangled up in some of the most dramatic moments in history. A game could literally mean life or death, like it did for Ossip Bernstein, who played a game against a firing squad to win his freedom. Or it could be a desperate scream into the void, like when Najdorf played that record-breaking blindfold match just hoping his family would hear his name. It could even be a key part of winning a real war, with top players like Sir Stuart Milner-Barry using their minds to help crack Nazi codes. The board has even been used as a kind of lab for social experiments. This educational psychologist, Laszlo Polgar, he had this belief that genius isn't something you're born with, it's something you create. And to prove it, he and his wife homeschooled their 3 daughters and just completely immersed them in chess. The goal? To smash the idea that women couldn't compete with men intellectually. And the experiment was a massive success. Judith Polgar became the strongest female player ever and even broke into the world's top 10. So, with all this history and drama, why are we still so fascinated by this game? Well, beyond all that, a lot of people see it as the ultimate gym for your mind. And there's some real science that seems to back that up. A lot of studies suggest that playing chess really can improve your cognitive abilities. We're talking better problem solving, sharper memory, better concentration. It's a mental workout that trains your brain for strategy and creativity. Some research even suggests it might help fight off diseases like Alzheimer's just by keeping your brain so active. But
On the other hand, is it really that simple? Let's go back to that book again, Chess Story. The world champion in the book, a guy named Sintovic, is an absolute wizard on the chessboard, but in every other part of his life, he's a total dullard. So it kind of leaves you wondering, does chess actually make you smarter, or is it just that really smart people are drawn to chess? The debate's still wide open.
So in the end, chess is really like a mirror. It reflects our own brilliance, yeah, but also our obsessions, our conflicts, and our incredible luck. It's a whole universe of human drama packed into just 64 squares. What you should really take away from all this is that whether it's being used for survival or as a stage for war, or just as a fun pastime, it's always, always so much more than just a game.